The mother silently moved into a one-room apartment when the son took her apartment. 6 months later, she brought a gift. Everything had changed. Nancy stood in the middle of her new studio apartment and tried to figure out where the last 30 years of her life had gone. It seemed like only yesterday that she and James had moved into a spacious two-bedroom apartment, and today all that was left of that life were the pictures in the album and the vase they'd gotten for their silver wedding anniversary. "Mom, how do you like it? It's cozy, isn't it?" Kevin, her son, was hanging around, showing the benefits of a compact home. "Yes, son, it's fine," she replied, though her insides clenched at the thought of living in 30 squares. And most importantly, no extra rooms. "Why do you need so much space on your own?" "Just to collect dust," he said enthusiastically, as if he were doing her a favor. Nancy nodded and smiled. It was no use explaining that those extra rooms held memories of her husband, of family holidays, of the grandchildren who stayed with her on vacations. "And we put the difference into the house," Kevin continued. "You've seen the design, haven't you? 2 stories, a terrace, a 2-car garage. That's wonderful," Nancy said and turned away from the window so that her son wouldn't see her tears. A week after the move, Kevin arrived with his wife Monica and a huge box. "Mom, this is for you," he announced triumphantly, dragging the box into the kitchen. "A dishwasher," Monica explained, fixing her perfect hair. "The latest model. Saves water, electricity, and most importantly, why should I? I'm alone." "Why?" Kevin was surprised. "To keep my hands clean. To save time." "Save time for what?" Nancy almost burst out, but she held back. Installing the dishwasher turned into an epic. "We had to move the refrigerator, sacrifice the nightstand with pots and pans. It's okay, Mom, but now you have everything just like people." Kevin cheered as he hooked up the hoses. When they left, Nancy sat on a stool and stared at the shiny silver door of the dishwasher for a long time. In the old apartment, a machine like that would have fit perfectly. There had been a large kitchen with a long countertop where she and James liked to have tea in the evenings. "Here we are, James," she said aloud. "My son's given away his apartment, he's building a house, and he gave me a dishwasher." Nancy started the machine for the first time 3 days later. She loaded 2 plates, a cup and a fork, all the dishes she'd used all day. The machine hummed for 2 hours to wash 4 items. "It's called saving money," Nancy snorted. Every time she pressed the start button, she remembered her old kitchen, where she could invite her friends over for tea, bake a cake, and not worry about elbowing something. Kevin called regularly, always asking about the dishwasher. "How's our little helper doing? Is it working?" "It's working, son, thank you," Nancy replied. What she didn't say was that the machine was a symbol of everything she'd lost. A symbol of how her life had shrunk to the size of that one-room apartment. 6 months later, Kevin called with the happy news. "Mom, the house is finished. It's a housewarming weekend. Make sure you come over." "Sure, son," Nancy replied, and after the call she looked at the dishwasher for a long time. Kevin's house was exactly as he had described it, huge, with spacious rooms, a terrace and a garage. The kitchen was the size of half of Nancy's apartment. "What do you think?" Kevin asked, showing the property. "It's a nice house," she replied. "Where's your dishwasher?" "Not yet," Kevin said. "We'll buy one next month, because we're putting all the money into the remodeling now." "You don't have to buy one," Nancy smiled. "I have a present for you." She nodded to the cab driver waiting at the gate. He opened the trunk of his van and pulled out a familiar box containing a dishwasher. "What's this?" Kevin didn't understand. "Your present, son. I'm returning it. I don't have room in my kitchen for this kind of luxury." You've got plenty of room here, so it'll fit right in. Kevin looked at his mother and at the box. But Mom, we gave it to you. I'm giving it to you, Nancy said firmly. According to the law of conservation of gifts. Monica, who was standing next to her, suddenly squinted. Kevin, maybe Mom's hinting that she wants to move in with us. We have an empty guest room. Nancy looked at her fiancé and said, You know, Monica, at our age, moving is like a fire. I've been through mine. But Mom, Kevin began. It's like Confucius said, don't do to others what you wouldn't do to yourself, Nancy interrupted him. Maybe it wasn't Confucius, but your father. He liked clever thoughts. That evening, when the guests had gone, Kevin sat down with his mother. Mom, are you upset about the apartment? No, son, she replied. It's just that sometimes it's good to feel what it's like to receive an unnecessary gift that takes up half of your living space. Kevin remained silent, staring at the floor. You know, Nancy continued, your father once said, home is where you have a place to put your books. I had to give away half my library in my new apartment. I wasn't thinking, Kevin said quietly. That's what I mean, Nancy nodded. I didn't think. A month later Kevin came to his mother with a proposal. Mom, Monica and I have decided to remodel the porch. We'll have a separate outbuilding, a room, a separate entrance and our own kitchen, but we'll be close to each other. Will you move in? What about my apartment? We'll rent it out. You'll have money for your allowance. Nancy smiled. You know, at your age, you're beginning to realize that it's not about square footage, it's about respect. I'll think about your offer. When the outhouse was ready, Nancy moved in after all. Her new place wasn't as spacious as the old 3-bedroom apartment, but it was much more comfortable than the 1-bedroom apartment. And most importantly, it had a separate entrance. At the housewarming party, Kevin ceremoniously rolled in a familiar box. Mom, this is for you. Nancy laughed. The dishwasher again? No, Kevin smiled. They're bookshelves. Dad's books are coming home. That evening, as she arranged the books, Nancy thought about how strangely life works. Sometimes you have to lose something valuable for those around you to realize its worth. Kevin and Monica still had the dishwasher. They say it works perfectly. And every time Monica turns it on, she remembers the lesson her mother-in-law taught them.